Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. My name is Gregory Fisher and I'm a practitioner here, and also I'm on the Board of Trust. We want to welcome you to this segment of our service. We are very excited to have you with us, whether you're new and this is your first time being with us, or if you're a member that's been with us for a long time. We welcome you and we're glad you're here. We have some exciting things happening today. We really want you to feel like you're a part. One of the things I'd like to remind you, if you're watching live, is down there is a place where you can add comments as we're going, and we would love to hear from you. So this morning, we have Larry Faragelli and Christy Krause ready to bring some music to you, and give a listen.
Everything I ever wanted, it was there within my reach. I spent all I had to get it, and found it wasn't what I need. I'm walking away from the trouble, walking away on the double, cutting the ties, leaving behind the old life. I'm walking into a brighter light, finding it all in you this time, crossing the line, fixing my eyes on paradise. I'm walking away. Led me out of my darkness. You fill my lungs again with air, with peace beyond my understanding. Now nothing will compare. I'm walking away from the trouble, walking away on the double, cutting the ties, leaving behind the old life. I'm walking into a brighter light, finding it all in me this time, crossing the line, fixing my eyes on paradise. I'm walking away, pressing on forward, looking up towards the sky, pressing on forward, pressing on forward, looking up towards the sky, pressing on forward. I'm walking away from the trouble, walking away on the double, cutting the ties, leaving behind the whole line. I'm walking into a brighter light, finding it all in me this time. I'm cutting the ties, fixing my eyes on paradise. I'm walking away, I'm walking away. I'm walking away.
Thank you so much, Christy and Larry. Always delighted to have you with us. Now I'd like to introduce to you someone that's been a member of this community for a very long time. Wonderful person, Reverend Bonnie Barbara Young. She's going to do a reading for us, and then she's going to do our opening treatment.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here today, and the reading I have for you is from a 1997 Science of Mind magazine with quotes from Ernest Holmes and another from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Clarissa says, "Refuse to fall down. If you cannot refuse to fall down, refuse to stay down. You may be pushed down, but no one can keep you from lifting your heart towards heaven." For all people, liberty, freedom, courage, independence, and choice are all important. Many of us have experienced where someone or something pushed us down, literally or figuratively. While the universe may not desire our downfall, we may have had some tough circumstances or outcomes that makes us feel that there is some cosmic conspiracy to make us miserable. And Ernest Holmes addresses this by saying, "Humankind does not face an eternal struggle against some external force that desires our downfall. The only struggle, the only battle, the only thing that needs to be overcome is our own ignorance, our own lack of awareness and recognition of the beneficent power and creativity that is the source of all things." And so it is. I'd like to invite you to enter with me into a sense of the sacred and to embody the power of God and our awareness of our oneness with God, the beloved, and with all of life. I believe that each of us is grounded in a higher truth, a higher power, the one presence, the one life of God. I believe in the living Spirit, the almighty living Spirit. And I know that our center, the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville, our community and our country stands in peace and lives in joy. And now is the time that God works through us, moving mountains in trust. And Spirit is moving us to find new ways to nurture our body, our mind, and our soul, and to love one another. Easily we let go of all criticisms. Effortlessly we let go of judgments. And as we do this, we accept a higher thought, one of emotional well-being, one of knowing that all is well. For each of us is divinely connected to a bigger love, a love that is bigger than any misunderstandings, bigger than any miscommunication. And as we understand this, we understand that the life of all and all of life is God. So it is with compassionate action and inspiration that we move forward, knowing the truth that only goodness is manifest now and all is well. So in freedom I release these words, and with infinite gratitude I believe this is the truth, and it is so, and so it is.
Now I'd like to introduce to you someone that we've come to really admire and appreciate so much. She was with us last week, and she'll be here again today. This is Reverend Kath DePalma.
Good morning. How is everyone? Did you ever think that our prayer treatments and wanting to create a world that works for everyone would look like this? I had no idea. I don't think we had any idea of how this was going to come about. And yet it is. You know, I did a talk in my earlier years as a minister titled Furniture Rearranging to get across the idea that things can look really messy while the new configuration takes place. Eventually the pieces start coming together and a new pattern emerges. And that's kind of what's happening here in our world. It's happening in your center too. Rearranging the furniture is one thing, but this is an extremely complex, sophisticated process that is underway, that we are all a part of on a gazillion different levels. Only a mastermind could organize and create such a thing. We just have to remember that we're not in this alone. Whatever we are feeling, whatever fears or unrest we might be having, we are not in this alone. We need to remember that the divine orchestrator of universes knows exactly what it is doing with us all. It can beautifully handle each one of us. Each one of us on the planet, almost 8 billion people. And that's just on our planet alone. And it handles each one of us in a way that is specific and unique and perfect for us. And so it's timely for a reordering to take place. And the timing is exquisite. The universe is on it. So this beautiful Nashville Center for Spiritual Living community is in for a bit of some renewing and recreating itself, don't you think? While that task might seem daunting, I know the board has been working tirelessly. I know the practitioners have been treating. I know that everyone has been doing their part. It doesn't have to be as daunting as it appears. We can draw upon some of those same forces of the universe, which really are already at work in your beautiful center, and make this as lighthearted and joyful as possible. After all, we get to create with the best. How much better does it get than to create with spirit itself? It simply does not get any better than that. And just like the giant reset button or pause button that the world called into being, CSL Nashville called into being a healthy time out. Let's reassess. Let's see who we are today, because we are not the same people that we were a year ago, several years ago, decades ago. And how could you be? You have all grown and expanded in so many ways through these experiences. And that's a good thing. It's hard not to feel all over the place with our emotions and feelings and feel pressured to do something, to put things back into some semblance of order immediately. But downtime, and I'm not saying that there won't be things to do, but downtime is key. Spiritual priorities have to be in place first and foremost. It reminds me of going from an 11-year marriage that endured some rather difficult circumstances right into another relationship that was even more problematic. I remember being so tired. I told my mother during a visit to Atlanta when I was living here back in the late 80s and 90s, I need a break from men. That's what I said. I had never even thought of such a thing. And at the time I left that second relationship, I decided to follow the guidance of the 12-step programs, which say avoid being in a relationship for the first year of your sobriety. Now, the purpose for that is to get your bearings, to clear out old, unhealthy patterns, to reset yourself so you can attract healthier, more loving relationships. I didn't have an addiction per se, but I was definitely off balance, worn out, out of whack, and not a good place to be, much less attract from. Never really having any time on my own, I set my own sabbatical for 2 years. And I gave myself time to replenish and to be in relationship with myself. What a novel idea. To take what I was learning in my Science of Mind classes and create a whole new life for myself. And that made all the difference. I let God pick my partner this time. I could no longer trust my small I personality self with such important decisions. And John and I met right about that 2-year mark. The universe, we joke about this, the universe even had to bring him in from Connecticut. And we've been together for the past 30 years. Now, the purpose of an interim minister is to give you such a break so that you can take care of yourselves, see what better idea is coming through you, and make new plans to see who you are today and discover who you want to be. So to get us started with this idea of a sabbatical for your community, I thought it would be helpful to look at what a spiritual life looks like. What is spiritual living, and how can living from this place guide us to our wholeness, guide us to the next iteration of what we want to be? So here goes. Spiritual living is a deeper, more reflective, conscious, more peaceful way of living. To live a spiritual life is to choose to dedicate oneself to being a better person who comes up with more loving solutions. It means supporting everyone and everything on the planet and beyond. And to live spiritually means to feel more life and love. Doesn't that sound good? Oh, sounds so good. Living this way helps people to enjoy themselves because they are in touch with who they are as a spiritual being. Spiritual living creates individuals who are at peace with themselves. To be spiritual means to love, honor, and respect yourself, to be happy with yourself. This way of life helps us to see ourselves out as creators of productive, inspiring, and fulfilling lives. Living this way means creating a firm spiritual foundation from which to live and work. It's a proactive approach to life and means being present, having an awareness of what is possible, and spending time focused on creating more of what we really want, because we can have what we really want. It means being actively engaged with spirit in everything. We don't have to wait for something bad to happen before we pray or treat. We can pray or treat from that place of the Most High when we are feeling strong and good, so we can keep our focus on what is right and good, paying attention to the impulses that are being given us by life. Life is always directing and guiding us if we are listening and paying attention and receptive and open. This way of living means seeing ourselves as divine, as a higher order of being. Spiritual living means being respectful of all peoples, cultures, religions, traditions, and countries, whether we agree with them or not. It means appreciating the diversity of life, knowing we are all living that one life together, knowing that all roads lead home. Our way is not the only way. Others have a perspective that we can gain from and learn from and grow from. It means to take 100% responsibility for our lives and what happens to them. Knowing the way that we see ourselves and others plays a big part in the quality of our relationships. If we can see the perfection or the good in others, we can help to bring that forth in them, help them to see it for themselves. It means people genuinely are caring for one another, kind, willing to give whatever they have because they know they're connected to an infinite source. And where that is coming from, there's always more. This way of living means to support, encourage, uplift, love others in being all they can be. Everyone needs to know that there's someone in their corner no matter what. Spiritual living means taking ownership and responsibility of and care for the planet, Mother Earth, nature, our environment, and treating it like it is our own. As we take walks, treating it like it's our own, because in reality it is. There's that Indian law that takes into consideration whatever action is being considered and how it will affect 7 generations from now. What kind of difference would that consideration make to all the decisions that we make for the generations to come? It means participating in an ever-expanding and deepening relationship, partnership with the infinite. We yearn to come home. We all yearn to come home to that innermost being within us, that place of the Most High within us where we connect with our source, with life. It means that we live a life that we can be proud of, thereby leaving a legacy for others to enjoy, being an example of what is possible is incredibly valuable for those who are following in our footsteps. Why not stand on the shoulders of giants and gain an even greater perspective in this life and then pass that on? This way of living requires us to use these precious minds for constructive thinking, for creating, using our time, energy, and love to create more of what we want to see. It means showing up to life every day, no matter what happened the day before, ready to give it our best, ready to give it a go again. And it takes great courage to do that, doesn't it? Especially during difficult times. And each day that we do, showing up again, ready to go, giving it our best, we stand tall in our truth and we prove that we are greater than any experience or condition that we are having. Living this way puts the emphasis on peace, creating interesting, unique, innovative ways to use what we have and share it with the world. Working together globally as a human family, enjoying the diversity and celebrating our unique perspectives. It opens us up to being a clear channel for this universal wisdom, thinking ideas that have never been thought before, appreciating our precious minds, and even more the thinker behind them that sees all, that knows all, that determines our experience and existence. Spiritual living sees each individual as a clear, open channel, a center for divine activity. Spiritual living helps us to appreciate these bodies, their intelligence, their complexity. Oh my God, they're so magnificent. Their balance, their health, their healing abilities, how responsive they are to us, how they support us in everything we do. It means making a decision to hurt no one and to embrace the highest good for all. We can never go wrong when we come from love. Life will support us even more greatly as we consider what is best, not only for ourselves, but for all involved. It has to. It means being dedicated to coming from the highest, most loving, abundant consciousness possible at all times. And the greater our awareness of all this, the bigger our perspective, the freer we become. And that feels good, doesn't it? To be free. You get the idea here. It's a big ask. It's a big task. It can be overwhelming if we look at it from the human side of things, a human point of view. But there's so much more to us than we know, than we remember, than we realize. Deep within us are infinite reserves, our higher self, that will help us carry this, help us carry any burden, lead the way, direct us, guide us, lead us to what we need to think and know. In closing, these are groundbreaking times. So many good things are coming out of this, here at this beautiful center and globally. It's another giant step for humankind. Let's just not get by or numb ourselves or go through the motions, but really be present, alive and awake for the transformation of our planet. Instead of complaining or being negative about what's going to work and what's not going to work, let's be an active part of this grand move that is being played by the universe for all. Let's be like the children, playful and lighthearted in the middle of it all. Let's take our power back. Let's take advantage of the momentum that's moving us forward and go with the flow and see where it takes us. It can only be good. It can only be good. Let's be all we came here to be. Love will find the way. Namaste. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce for you the chair of our Board of Trust, Kate Prentice, with a few words about how things are proceeding.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for our virtual Sunday morning service. I want to thank a few people. This has been, we would not be able to do this without Lynn Bennett and his wonderful crew here at Stage Post, and I just want to send a big thank you out to him for creating this. And if you're on YouTube watching this right now, you thank Lynn as well. If you're on Facebook watching it, I want you to thank Grace Ramel. She is our Facebook guru, and she's doing a great job, and we just so appreciate her because we're able to actually come to you in the midst of this pandemic. I talked to you last Sunday about sending out a survey about reopening our center to live face-to-face programs, and you will be getting that survey. We've been refining it this week, and you'll be getting that survey either Monday or Tuesday. And I know that it'll be coming to you by email, and I know that a few people had been left off the list. And I want to reassure you that we've taken care of that, and everyone should be receiving an email about that. Please look at it, fill it out, and send it back to us, because we're relying on your reaction, your responses to what you are comfortable doing as far as precautions during this virus, to tell us how and when we're going to be able to reopen. So your responses are very, very valuable. Also, there's a question on there about some virtual meetings, and so we are looking at a possible virtual town hall meeting in the near future. We also are a little late having our annual meeting because we haven't been able to be face-to-face, and so we are looking at what kind of preparations we need to be able to do that and whether it's going to be face-to-face or virtual. So keep that in mind. That will be coming up as soon as we have our plans in place. I hope you enjoyed Reverend Kath's message this morning. She is going to be working with the board. She's going to be working with us during this transformation time. She won't be in the pulpit every Sunday for us, but she will be working with the board, counseling us, because her expertise is in churches that are in transition. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't leave anything out, so I'm trying not to just read to you today. I want you to know that Reverend Kath is going to be very valuable to us because the board is not in a big hurry to call another settled minister. We feel that we need some time to step back and assess where we are before we make a big step again. So just so you know, we had a meeting this week with our wonderful practitioners. We talked with them about, we just have such a deep talent pool here in the practitioners, in other members of our center, and also the community here. So I can assure you that we're going to have a lot of very talented people participating in these Sunday morning services, whether they're virtual, whether they're live streamed, which we're hoping to do soon, or whether they're in person. And the practitioners are wonderful. They are more than ready to be a part of all of this, whether they are speaking from the platform, whether they are giving treatments, readings, or counseling with the members. And I want you to know that they are available for all of that. I want to say that we need your support and talents as well. If you feel that you would like to be a part of the Sunday service or a part of anything else that we can provide, I want you to reach out to Gregory Fisher, and he is one of our board members and a practitioner, and to Larry Faragelli, who is our music director. Please contact them if you feel like you'd like to be a part of any of this. We'd love to have you. Now, we need your talent support, but we also need your financial support. Every church needs that right now, and in the middle of this pandemic, I know a lot of people haven't been able to contribute, but I've had a couple of questions, and some people are concerned that CSLN doesn't go broke, and I want to assure you that we are in good financial standing. We have a very reasonable mortgage, and our beautiful property is under no danger of going away. So I just want everyone to feel comfortable with that. And if you've heard anyone ask, are you selling the church? Please tell them there's a resounding no from the board, so you know that. Also, I want to close with just my love and appreciation for all of your support during this transformation, is what I'm choosing to call it, for Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. The most common thing that I have been told over the last 2 weeks is that people are keeping the high watch for us. And I just want you to know that we appreciate it, but we're not surprised. We just know it and we expect it because we know who you are. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you.
Now, here's Christy Krause.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. There is only love, a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only
Christy, that was terrific. Thanks so much. Hey, it's coming to the end of the service, and I just want to remind you that even though we're not together and able to pass the plate, the expenses go on. The things that we need to do to keep the church and this community running still exists. So we need your contributions, and I know you want to contribute. That is a part of what we believe here. So it's important that you go to the website and you find the button there that you can push, and it'll allow you to go and make your contribution just like you always have. It's really important, and I thank you in advance. Now, I'm going to do our closing treatment, and I want to say thanks again for coming today, for being a part, for holding in consciousness the wonderful direction that our community and our center is proceeding. We're looking forward to that time when we can see you again in person, face to face. But for now, a treatment. Go with me inside. Take a deep breath and let it out. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath and let it out. And let's know this truth, that in the one mind, the one heart, and the one life that we call God, that is the universe, that is spirit, we are one. We are united. We are always connected. So even though it may appear that there is some distance, we know that there is never distance. We know that even as it might appear that we are separate and alone, we are always together in this one life. So it is our intention today to proceed with great thanksgiving, to proceed in our life with great hope and assurance that all is well. Everything is going exactly according to our belief, exactly according to our intention, exactly according to our highest and best. Anything that looks different than this is a misunderstanding, and it is easily forgiven, as we move back into that knowing that all is well, all is right, all is proceeding exactly according to the plan, the bigger plan, the higher plan. I am so thankful for this. I am so grateful. I appreciate this place, this heart, this mind, this community. I feel it in my life. I feel it surrounding me. I feel embraced by it. So grateful. And I release this treatment to the law, knowing that it is true and that it is done even before the words leave my lips. I let it be so, and so it is.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Kirsty Krause for singing today. Great job. And I'd like to thank Lynn Bennett for the use of this wonderful facility that you see behind me. It's called the Stage Post here in Nashville. And it's fantastic. I know the guys are all here. I know you can't see them, but they're all wonderful, and they make you feel comfortable. And they let you know when you did something wrong, like they just did, which I'm trying to fix. Anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that I'll be gone for the rest of the month of June. Holding down the fort musically for us on June 21st will be Susan Shan, the lovely and talented Susan Shan, who will be singing a couple of her great originals, so tune in for that. And then on June 28th, we'll have Julie Rust and her talented guitarist husband, Rusty Rust, helping us out. Julie's music is wonderful and will open your heart, so please tune in for that. And I'll be returning in July and look forward to building a new music program for Center for Spiritual Living in Nashville. So have a great rest of the month. Be well. God bless.